With Thanksgiving coming to an end and Christmas coming up very soon, I feel like now is a great time to talk about when to enjoy yourself without having regrets or anxious thoughts about what you're doing, and just be able to enjoy times with your family, with your friends as what they are. Because I see so many people, especially young guys on self improvement, who get like very, very, very stressed whenever they eat junk food because they think it ruins their diet or they're gonna get fat again or something like that. And that really just makes everything worse than if they just thought like, okay, it's just one day. Because they are very, very worried about it because they're so new and they've seen all the demonization of cheating on diets and playing video games and not going to the gym. And they're worried they're going to lose everything by this one day when they really won't hurt themselves. But then they still don't even end up enjoying their cheat day or their gay with their friends where they stay up late and play video games or something like that. So I'm here to tell you how to cheat responsibly, if that makes any sense. So, first, just make it one day at a time. Like, if you want to have a cheat day on Thanksgiving and you have big meal with pumpkin pie, apple pie, all that stuff, that's fine. But the next day, don't go in the kitchen, see the apple pie leftovers, and eat that too, because that's when it really becomes a problem. One day won't hurt you, but when you make that one day, one week, that will hurt you. So make sure your cheat days last one day, not more than that. Do these things with friends and family. Do not do these things alone because I've talked about this a lot. When you do these things alone, like you eat a huge piece of brownie alone and then you play video games for 3 hours alone, it will start to become more of a habit and not your brain won't recognize it as something to do with friends or family, but it's something you can just do whenever you want. So those urges will come more when you're alone, just sitting in your room, maybe chilling out, maybe studying. And you're like, "Ah, I really want some cake right now," because your brain doesn't see it as something social. It sees it as something very pleasurable to do whenever it feels like it. And when that happens, that is when doing things like this becomes dangerous, when it becomes a habit. Because what that habit is what keeps people in mediocrity and separates us from everybody else. Don't worry about the last time you did something like cheat on your diet or something, but do not make it regular. So if, let's say, you had Thanksgiving a week ago and your mom's birthday is, I'm just using mine, but my mom's birthday was yesterday, and I had Thanksgiving like a week ago. So they were very close to each other. But I don't mind because there are very special occasions that only come around once a year. And I understand that we really have nothing until Christmas at this point where I'm going to like eat a lot of junk food because there's nothing really up until then. So that 3 week period is great for me to build up back my stuff and not worry about the fact that I had 2 cheat days in 10 days. But if I happen to have 2 cheat days in 10 days, and then maybe next Sunday I eat more food, and then next Sunday I eat more food, and then on Christmas I eat more, that's when it becomes a problem because then it's a very regular thing that actually starts to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? All right. When you do have a cheat day, go do whatever you want and just enjoy it. Don't worry about, oh, is this really good for me? Or, oh, is this really going to be good for me? Like, should I really be playing video games? If you have the time, it's not interfering with any of your work, you've got all your work done, your friends are like, "Oh, come on, hop on this game, we'll have so much fun together." Go ahead. It's not a huge deal, and it'd really be great for you to, build a connection with your friends, even if it's through video games. So don't worry about it because when you worry about it, you won't get the full enjoyment out of it, and your brain almost won't be satiated by what you've done, and you'll feel the urge to do it more because your brain isn't satisfied by what it got. But also keep it reasonable. Like if you're having Christmas, like I know I eat a lot of cookies on Christmas because we have cookie breakfast. But You know, that doesn't mean I need to eat the entire bucket of cookies. I can have like a couple small cookies and then some protein so I don't my head doesn't start hurting. I don't need to try and give myself a heart attack by eating 3,000 cookies in one day because that is not going to be good, trust me. So make sure that it is reasonable, especially when you're having cheat days. But if you have something like Christmas where it's a huge event, everybody's bringing cheesecake and cookies and gingerbread houses. And, well, my family is very German, so we have sausages, pork, things like that. Just go ahead and eat them. Don't worry about it. But don't also think, oh, I have to eat everything because it's my only day. Eat what you want and then be done. But there are still things that are unacceptable to do, like porn. You're never going to want to watch porn. Well, you're always going to want to watch it, but you should never watch porn. There should be no exceptions to something like that. So if it is something that you really don't think should be done at any time, like porn, do not even touch it. Don't even think about it because that porn is never going to be not a problem if you do it. But also make sure that you're not really too hard on yourself when you do watch porn because if we just increase the time between it, it just really helps us because imagine we have 1 week of not watching porn and then we watch porn. That's like 88, 85% of days we're good, right? But then imagine the next time we get 15 days. That's already 95% of days are good. So if we can just make the number so high to the point where one day being bad is not a huge thing, not a big deal, but make sure you're never like, oh, I get to watch porn today. Just stop when you're done. Once a day is done, though, do not continue. But also do not try and like, oh, I didn't meditate yesterday because I forgot to. So I'm going to meditate an hour today. And you've only done 15 minutes before because it's going to make everything so much harder. Your mental health's going to decline because you're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm stupid. I suck. Something like that. Instead of thinking, oh, I can just do 15 minutes tomorrow. Not a big deal. Like whenever I stay up late, I know that the time I am able to meditate goes down. So I usually bring my meditation down that day and just bring it back up the next day when I've gotten back on the routine. So just go back to your old routine. Don't try and do anything extra to like balance out. Just go back because since our old routines are very, very, very good, they will just automatically start to balance it out because we're eating healthy. For example, if you eat like a cheesecake and cookies for Christmas like I do, but then the rest of winter break, you're chill. You're eating healthy, going to the gym. It's gonna balance itself out anyways. So really do not worry about it. But sometimes, doing these bad things is the best way to enjoy yourself. Like, I'm gonna admit, I love to go over to my neighbor's house and play video games with them. I'll spend a couple hours over there playing video games before we play outside or something. And I really have a lot of fun with them because it's a lot of fun to play these video games. And video games can take me to worlds I can never be in. So it is really fun for them. And these bad habits can make memories and build connections. Like I remember eating this giant donut at Universal Studios with my brothers because, we loved The Simpsons when we were kids and we saw the Simpsons like donut restaurant. We went there and they had this big pink donut that we all ate, which was great. It can build connections, like playing with my neighbors, playing with my brothers, and having fun with them. So cherish the time you have, but don't dwell on it when it leaves like you need to go back because we want to be able to look back fondly on it and we might miss it, but we don't want to be like, oh, I wish I was still there. I want to do it again because that gives us the urge to do the bad habits more often, more regularly, to the point where it really actually does start to hurt us to do them because we're doing them once a week, once every day or something. Because trust me, it will happen if you're not careful. So make sure that you are keeping yourself in check, not getting complacent, and always doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. See you guys next time.